Somebody pray for me. It been a day for me. Yeah, yeah.
Alright, so it's been a while since I filmed anything E36 related, but I've been working a lot on this car lately, so I got a lot done without filming anything because I've just been chipping away at it like throughout the days. But basically, the car is cleaned out. I got some of the cage done. Got like the main hoop, I guess you could say. I still gotta do a lot. I gotta do all my door bars to the back. I gotta do my rear strut bar. Gotta do my dash bar, harness bar, all that. But that's that so far. I still gotta weld this side because my welder broke. That's what Daniel's working on right now. The welder broke, so I haven't been able to weld any of that. But I don't know what you guys remember from the engine bay, but that's how the engine bay is looking right now. I also put on my coilovers on today. These aren't the wheels I'm gonna be running. I only put them on just to get the car on the ground right now. But I put my coilovers on today. So those looking good. They're the same color as my engine bay, which is really cool. They're like a sparkly silver. And I also got everything on the rear end put in. So the rear end is literally complete down here. Get you a good angle of it. Get you guys. So I got the rear end complete now, all the way with everything's brand new in there. And it's super dialed looking. Alright, pick. So the rear end's looking super good. I still gotta adjust my coilovers and everything. I literally just put it on the ground, but they're super stiff. I'm stoked on how the car's coming out so far. I gotta order my seats soon and my seat brackets. That way I can figure out where I'm gonna mount my hydro, and then I can weld the hydro in, and then it's time to paint the inside of the car. Put the engine in, which actually I'm probably gonna do today because I grabbed out the engine hoist. I'm gonna pull my engine off the stand, put my new clutch and flywheel on it, connect it to the transmission, and then probably drop it in the car today. A lot going on, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna first do, get everything set up and get this engine on here. I'm so bad with filming now, I always forget to pull out the camera. I've been working on this car so much lately without filming. I just put the transmission almost all the way on. You can't even see it now, but I'll take a picture and post it on the screen. I put the new clutch and flywheel on. It looks good. Now I'm just trying to mate the transmission to the motor, and it's being a pain in the ass. Okay, finally. The transmission was such a pain in the ass to get on, mostly because of the angle I had the motor at, but I got the transmission on. I got the new transmission bushing, polyurethane, rev shift, just like all my other ones, and got the new headers on. I was gonna wait, but I think I'm gonna throw it in there. I'm gonna order my new shifter. I'm gonna do like a body mounted shifter, and it's gonna get rid of this piece where it usually slides in under the transmission tunnel and locks it in. Another pipe inside the pipe. The motor is in the car. Man. I just need to clean everything up, start wiring everything together, finish my cage, and then it's time to just get this thing on the road and get it all ready and all the pretty stuff next. Alright, so a lot has happened on this E36 and I really haven't filmed much of it. Mostly because I've been working like crazy and I try to work on this thing like every minute I have in between work and school, and I've just been super busy lately. So I haven't really like filmed a solid video. Today I could maybe like catch you guys up on what's happening with the E36 and show you guys the progress on the cage, because there's been a lot of progress and I'm stoked to show you guys. So now I got a few more parts coming in, and then it's time to really start putting it together and get everything back built. But right now I'm finishing the inside, so I'll show you guys. Alright, so I got my seats in, I got my seat mounts, which I'm going to be bolting up. I need to get some bolts for it. I got part of my harness bar. I was waiting to do the crossbar because I had to wait until I got my seats to see how high they were going to sit, and then adjust everything like that. But this has been the biggest part of it, besides these bars. I don't even know if I showed you guys those last time. I got my dash bar in there, which is really cool. I'll have to take off my dash and show you guys how I did it to make it go around the speedo. But the door bars. So the ones that this cage was basically designed for was like the NASCAR style ones where they'd be like straight and then like straight down. I did it with more like the street style look. Like this one's more like easier to get in. It's not like straight track use. As you can tell, I did it where like this side's higher where your base is sitting, and it's lower right there, kind of by your knees, because it's just easier to get out. So it's super dialed. I'll just show you guys once I get this door out of the way. This door does not like to stay open, so gotta use these bad boys on it. Works like a charm. Okay, so there's the door bars. I gotta touch up some more little welds around it, but the welds aren't bad. I'm getting better as I go with the cage for sure. I wish I was able to do these parts like last, because I'd probably be better and get some good looking welds. But they're not terrible, they're not perfect, but it's not the worst I've seen. So I'm satisfied. So basically today's mission is to do the other side, the other door bars. Possibly get my seats mounted up. I don't have bolts, but get them laid out, and then maybe even throw the harness bar in going across. It's gonna be a long night. I decided to pull out the camera because I know I'm gonna be out here for a while, and we'll see how much we get done. Actually, I just remembered, I don't have that much gas in this tank, so I might just have to get everything like kind of tack welded. Going through the last 2 weeks or so of this long process of this cage. Basically, I have bought a cage that is already pre-bent for my car and pre-cut to like a kind of estimated size. Yeah, so what I've kind of done is just modify how I'm doing the door bars, but luckily they give you extra, so the tubes are pretty long for what I want to do. First, notch this at the right angle. I'm gonna size it up basically exactly what I did on that side. I'm gonna match it to over here. I definitely could be more precise on how I'm doing this, using a lot of like angle measurements and everything like that. But I'm stoked on this one, so I'm gonna match it to this one and the way I did it. So literally, I just marked the angle of the hoop bar that I'm gonna be connecting it to, so I know that after that angle with the hole saw, then the notch will match the angle of the pipe, and yeah. So far, I'm satisfied with it. So hoping it works again tonight and I can get this completed with the way I've been doing it. But basically, I have my hole saw hooked up on my drill press. I have this, which is actually pretty helpful. I'm not doing it with like a drill. I'm doing it with like an actual hole saw notcher. I'm gonna smoke this weed by myself. So I did a second pass because I couldn't get the bar to bend enough without hitting here because it doesn't go high enough for mine, which kind of sucks. It's like maxed out on this Harbor Freight rig. So I had to make a second pass, get the right angle, but that should be pretty decent. So we'll check it out now. It's gonna be dangerous. We'll see. So that's how that looks. Not bad. Pretty dialed. So there's that. Fits there. Decent. It's hard to tell until I get that one notched too, but that's basically how that works. Now that one just gets notched up there. Same deal. The door bar is notched now. Got it all grinded down and everything. That's the final notch. That's the angle I had to get it at to fit in there. Got everything grinded down in here. Gonna go ahead and tack it and get it at the right angle, and then we'll throw a bead on it. Alright, so I only have it tacked down there. That way I was able to get the right angle and kind of slide this one down. But it's pressed really hard against it now. It's not going anywhere. As you can see, like the last inch, I kind of had it hammered down. You gotta be careful because any hit you do down here could possibly change the angle here. So it's kind of like, it's pretty complicated, but I measured everything a bunch of times. A little bit of a gap on this one. I could have done it a little better, but that's really not bad at all. That'll be easy to fill. But everything else is flush. This one as well has a tiny gap up top, but it's really nothing. And then get that all around there. And then I'm gonna start with the other bar. The other bar I'll probably just rush through it, and then I'll get to you guys once I have it kind of like lined up, because it's the same process, hole saw and blah blah blah. And this one's gonna be more complicated because I got 4 different notches technically, so it's gonna take a little bit longer. But I will definitely show you guys the final product. This is what I'm gonna call it tonight. I'm gonna come back and finish it tomorrow, but I just need to do the one bar right there. I also still got to do the bars that go to like the back of the firewall from this main hoop. Then I got my harness bar, which I'll probably do tomorrow. So I'm going to do a lot more work on it tomorrow, but this side's done. I got the seat in there, and that looks super good. So I just found exactly where I want to sit at, and I'm stoked on how this thing is looking. So I'll come back and do some more work on it tomorrow. Alright, it's been a pretty long time since I filmed anything on my E36. It seems like every time I've been filming something recently lately for it, it's been like weeks over weeks into one video. But it's kind of repetitive because I'm just doing the cage, so it's a lot of fabrication, and I can't really just pull out the camera and just film a time lapse because sometimes I'll spend up to like a day on literally one pipe, like something stupid like the door bar, something simple like the door bars. It took me like 2 days for the first time, and then the other time I did it in like 2 hours. It was just because I didn't do it before. I've never done it before, so like doing it the first time I really take my time, and then matching it to the other side is kind of easier. But I've been going in on the cage, and I finally got my I guess you would call them my dimple gussets set up. So what I did was I basically bought some sheet metal. I bought 16 gauge. I took some cardboard and I lined up exactly how I wanted it to, cut the cardboard to shape, and then I stenciled it out with a Sharpie onto the sheet metal, cut up the sheet metal, and then I laid it in there, and then I went by with the hole saw and I hole sawed the holes out, but I still need my dimple to come in and my press, so I can use, then I can go in and dimple dye it. But I'm literally so stoked on how the fitment is on that, and I can't wait to do the other ones and do everything like that. But these ones I can't do yet because I need longer sheets of sheet metal, and the longest sheet I could find was 24 inches, and that's from Lowe's. So I need this one to be like 36 inches, and I couldn't find that. So I have the seal. I put the seal back on just to make sure it fits, but I still have to go back and weld everything once I dimple it. But that goes all the way up into there. That comes all the way down. I got the back one. I just got to make the holes bigger because the first time I went by, I did it with smaller holes. So then I got this one right here. I need to make the bigger holes on it because these are like inch holes. I'm going to do 1.25 inches. So once I do the actual dimple, it gets a little bit bigger like these ones are. But this one, the holes align with that. Fits in there. Just like so. All the way up. And then down. So I'm really stoked on how this is coming out so far. And the amount of bends I had to do for it and everything. So now I'm working on this one right here. I basically just cut the outline of it out. Basically now what I do to it is I tack it in at the top. And I like bend it and get the form of how it has to bend. And then I'll align how I want the holes to arrange, and then I'll go through and drill the holes, tack it back in there, and then I'll have to dimple it once my dimple comes in. I started working on the last parts of the cage today, literally finalizing it, and that's to here up to the firewall. Now I literally have everything. I got my rear strut bar, those ones, got the harness bar, door bars, the firewall, dash bar, and here's what the dash bar looks like, so I can mount it, because the dash bar went across right here, but it was too high to go to my steering column, and I wanted to get rid of the original mount that went from my transmission tunnel across and down. So I literally cut it, welded another pipe to it, turned it up, welded that to the dash bar, cut it, bent this pipe, and got that welded onto the dash bar. So the dash bar's solid. Gotta do this side to the firewall. I'm really stoked on how everything's coming about right now. This is my first time doing anything like this. I really haven't welded much before this, so I'm learning as I go, but it's coming out pretty damn good. Really stoked on how everything's coming about, and I should have the cage finished by next weekend, everything dimpled, welded in, and then it's time to paint the interior. I'm just waiting on that hydro to show up, mount that in. I've been sitting on this video for a few weeks, so I need to end it. I'm stoked on how everything's coming across, and I really can't wait for these next month or so and see the progress really come about on this car, because it's time to finalize this thing and get it on the road. There has been a lot more people following the channel, so thank you to you guys, and thank you guys for the support. I'll see you guys in the next one.